This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome. A contract that they have. Where does the contract come in play here?
So because everything is work to him, he makes this contract that's a year long that says they have to stick together for a year, in the sense that he needs a +1 and she just wants to like leave the house. And he has all these events lined up for a year where he's gonna have to take somebody. So in a sense, they both kind of needed each other. So he saw it, he made that contract, and I won't give too much away, but the book comes out.
Yeah, don't give too much away. That sounds good. That sounds really good. So what inspired you to write this?
Honestly, there's so many things that.
Well, tell us. We want to know.
In the sense that I was never supposed to write like a 5th book, but my sister had said something, and my cousin was in the car too when this conversation took place. And that kind of just triggered that 5th book. And you'll see it because you'll see the relationship with the main character and her sister, right? I try to do my books where people are able to relate to it. So like I said in an interview yesterday too, I mean, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, where if you open up my Goodreads and you go to The Chaos Within Us, which was my debut novel, and people are saying that it's not just Neeti and Abhi who are my main characters that are relatable, it's even the secondary. So, you're bound to relate to a character in a sense. And that's what I'm trying to put into my books is when you pick it up, you're like, okay, I can relate to something, if not more than one thing, but at least something.
Yeah, and relatability is very important when you're writing any type of book. It's relatability, don't you think?
Yes, definitely. And that's one of the reasons I made my main character a teacher, because like I used to be a teacher, middle school teacher. She's a kindergarten teacher, but I was a middle school teacher, and through that I was able to put some teaching elements into it as well. And, like my books, they try to address topics that like need to be addressed, like how low the pay of education is.
Right.
So stuff like that, I just try to make it so anybody that picks it up, not just like my target audience is like the brown community, right? And I'm like, okay, if anybody picks it up, these books are gonna be relatable in a sense to any and everyone.
Okay. And what is a message that you want to leave with the readers to grasp?
I think every book has a different message, and it's put in my dedication.
Okay.
So like when you open the dedication, you'll kind of see what the book is going to be about. And I think that's like the start of the book should be. I encircle it back into the acknowledgements. So it goes dedication, story, acknowledgements, and someone had commented, I think it was for a Goodreads review on The Chaos Within Us, that that's the first time they've ever seen a dedication go into the story to go into the acknowledgements.
Okay. So it shows what you're sharing with us is that there's some experiential based reality in this, and then there's some fiction and nonfiction and your own life and some events, and you pull it all together, right? And so it's more, and you're saying it's very relatable. So like you said, people can relate to a teacher, and people can relate to a young man that's got to make it, that works all the time and needs to make a commitment, for just 1 year to pull something off, so people can relate to that, right?
Yes, definitely. And that's like kind of the goal. I know in my so after March, like my goal was only to put out 4 books. I never thought that I actually never even thought that Beautiful Consequence would be asked for a sequel. So when the readers were asking for it, I was like, okay, so I'll do that. Like I said, the 5th book was only triggered because of what my sister said. And then like the 6th one that's coming out in March is, it has like an arc team. This is the first time I'm doing an arc team for a book, which is if I copy. So they kind of like, they'll start putting like posts and like reels and TikToks and stuff prior to the book coming out. So it kind of is hyped beforehand.
Okay. And when you say arc, what does that mean? to the audience?
Advanced reader copy.
Advanced reader copy. Okay.
So
All
they get
right.
it before anybody else does.
Say it again.
They get it before anybody else does, and they'll start promoting it prior to the book coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited because I never even thought that would ever happen either.
That's nice. So what books most influenced your life to start to kind of write what you're writing now?
I think not books, but book that really
Mm-hmm.
kind of everything was A Court of Silver Flames, because a
Okay.
lot of people, even though they don't like Nesta's character, I personally loved Nesta. Like, I never cry when I'm like reading or anything, but that was the first book where I'm just like, Nesta, let me hug you, please. So yeah, I love her. I adore her. You know, the way she related to trauma, it was kind of like how she shut everybody out, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I do that too. If I'm going through a hard time, I'm just like, don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to anybody right now. I might say something I might regret, so it's better if we like
Yeah.
shut that, right? And
Such a great book.
that's kind of what I inspired The Chaos Within Us.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. So you say that book kind of started that thought, that flame in you to start writing.
Yeah.
If you had to choose, which writer would you consider a mentor?
I don't think I have any, to be honest. I had this question come up quite often in interviews,
Okay.
but I don't have like a writer.
Okay.
I do have like favorite books, you know, but not
Okay, gotcha.
off those books and like get ideas,
Mhm.
because my topics are very like, okay, what can I cover that, you
Right.
know, is taboo in our society through fiction, in a sense.
And when you say our society, what do you mean by that?
Oh, like the Indian culture, kind of, in a sense.
Okay. So a lot of your books are hinged on, the misconceptions or the myths of the Indian culture.
In a sense, not even some. I think all of them are, because
All of them are.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
And can you run through the titles again so that we can take a really, good glimpse of that,
Yeah, so debut novel is called The Chaos Within Us, which is it yesterday actually. It went back out and it has a new layout. The ebook has like a different cover than the paperback. So
Okay.
it has a new theme. Just everything about it is
The
kind of
Chaos Within Us. Okay.
and that was debuted in September. So
Okay.
basically, let me say it this way. I have books September, October, November, December, January, February, March.
Okay.
There's gonna be a book out, or there has been a book out.
Okay. But what are the titles again?
Yeah.
The Chaos Within Us.
Yeah. And the second one is Beautiful Consequence, which the sequel comes out this month, called Beautiful Mistake.
Okay.
And the third book is The Chance We Took.
Okay.
Fourth book is that sequel. Fifth book is called Contracted Together, and sixth book is called Better Than Him.
Okay, Better Than Him. Okay. Well, that's a lot of titles in such a short time.
I just wanted to get all out before my birthday in April.
Oh, and how did you get the energy to do all of that? Because I know a lot of, us writers, we do go through, times of blocks, but how did you get the energy just to keep putting out the books? How did you get that energy?
Well, when I worked in like the district office, I was kind of subbing for somebody that was on maternity leave. And, I was like, oh, there's nothing to do, because everything like she kind of had. And I'm like, I don't want to be paid to just sit here, like filing. I mean, they gave me work when there was work. So the person who worked, like, we have an office space and it was only the two of us in that space. And I was like, Miss Maria, I think I'm just going to start writing my book. And she's like, go for it. So just, going to work, I would do what is required.
Right.
But I would also have that time, 8 hours a day, minus the time I was working too, right? So
okay.
What
books are you reading? What books are you reading right now that are not your own?
Oh God, what book did I finished King of Wrath.
Okay.
Didn't really, wasn't my cup of tea.
I feel like what made you pick it up? Well, what made you pick it up? What made you pick it up?
Christian Harper. Christian Harper. I have the biggest crush on a fictional character named Christian Harper.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense.
I did not pick it up because like I'm not like a fan of Anna Hong or anything.
Right.
But like I saw the things and I did read the Twisted series.
Okay.
But after Twisted Lies, I was like, I can't get back into it because nobody's Christian Harper, right? In other books. So when I saw that King of Wrath had like Christian as a cameo, I was like, give me the book. And my friend got it as a Christmas gift too. So like if you check my annotations, I like Christian. Any part that Christian's in has hearts around it now. So, yeah.
That is too funny. Too funny. You know, I've heard people just say I read a book, but then I didn't like it. Somebody recommended it to me, but to have a whole crush, that is new to me. So that's a new one for me.
Christian Harper.
Yeah, it's
like he's just like a whole different standard, you know, that he set like fictional, it's a fictional character, but it's like he writes letters and all the other stuff. Like I won't give it away to people, and I'm just like, oh, this guy's writing letters to this girl.
Do you see yourself creating a writing career out of this?
If I see, that's the thing. I'm like taking a break come April, right?
Okay.
Like March will be my last release, and then my goal is to reach out to publishers after I've self-published every book.
Okay.
And see where it goes from there. Like I would love if like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, anybody picked it up because it will cover those topics that other people that are outside of the brown community, they might want to get some information on, because not everybody is a reader, so they're not gonna like pick up a book that's trending. But I know that more people tend to watch what's trending.
Yeah, and I will tell you, they need some new creativity because they keep remaking everything. You know, COVID has really kind of condemned us. You know, like they had to create, you know, keep us entertained throughout COVID. And so they were making all these great movies, and now they're like tapped out. So they're recreating the old stuff, and it's not good. You know, it's just not good. So I hope that you get picked up by one, you know, Netflix or something like that. And how do you know, project or think that you should approach them? You know, approach like Netflix.
I don't know. I hope they come to me, to be honest. I'm like, I don't even
so know. So this is a whole new goal for you. This is a whole goal. I like it. I like it.
But even if Netflix doesn't pick it up and like it turns out to be like a Punjabi movie or something, because my main is Punjabi, that would also be awesome, you know, because it's like,
oh sure,
they'll say like based on the novel by and
that, of course. Yeah, I see that a lot on what's that channel on my sister, Lifetime. You know, Lifetime always says based on the novel of blah blah blah, you know. So that would be beautiful, like, you know, beautiful. That's so you just came up with a goal on my show. So if I see you on Bollywood or anything like that, and or even Lifetime, I'm gonna I know her.
Right? I interviewed her before she was famous.
Yes, I will say that. So, you know, I like that your enthusiasm. I like, you know, your tenacity. But there are some people that, you know, we've been writing for a long time, and we do get writer's block. And could you share any kind of like inspiration that you might be able to give us on how to get out of that funk?
So whenever that would happen to me, I would kind of open like Instagram and see what's going on. Maybe I can get an idea. Just kind of go through Pinterest and see if I can get an idea. So anything that kind of like triggers a spark, I about, you know. So
yeah, that works. I mean, I know that I have to, if I'm writing and I can't get past that, I have to really take myself out of that place and not even go near it again until I do something really creative. And then it's like, oh, it just happens, starts, you know, it just, and then it rolls after that. What's your best tip you can share with our audience about being an author, who is considering being an author, or who's just considering doing something, how can you inspire them right now?
I would, I think just getting your ideas onto that paper or onto like whatever writing device you have. So what I do is, because I feel like having that notebook or having your laptop limits you to where you can write, because sometimes you just might be out and you'll be like, oh, I need to write, I see something and that's an idea, so I need to put it in my phone. So actually I have the notes app on my phone where I type each chapter and then I'll email it to myself so I can run through Grammarly before I start putting the book together.
Mm-hmm.
The editor. So just hit like having your phone probably. If you prefer like writing it on paper, go for it. But having your phone would be the best thing. And just
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Your phone is like the best. I mean, when I get like little ideas, I just like click my phone and like, okay, and start talking to type, and it just flows after that, as soon as I get that spark, okay, that's chapter 2. Let's put that over there, So it really works.
For Better Than Him, they are college students, right? Like none of my books really had a student aspect of it. Nothing else within us does, but it doesn't like last, whereas this one kind of is like college based.
Right.
And one of the things, like I was at Costco, not sponsored by the way. It would be awesome if Costco sponsored me, but you
just got to go ask, girl. Just go ask.
Yeah. So, it's like, how Costco's like food court is very like cheap price wise.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the idea. I was like, dude, what if I put like a Costco food court date in my book? Like who does that? Like, nobody goes to like Costco to go on a date. And I was like,
right.
Let's do this.
And you have to be creative when you're an author. You have to think outside of the box, because almost every conventional idea to market your book has been done before. So you almost have to like, okay, what can I do outside of that? And really what I've seen for myself is really getting out there doing the most obscure thing. If you're bungee jumping, or even if you're going in a ride, take your book. I got my book with me and we're going, you really just the craziest things to try to get your book out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So how can we find you on the internet? Give us some social media stuff and all that great stuff.
Okay. So my Instagram, which I also do giveaways of like copies of my book if anybody ever is. So my Instagram is Geet is booked, which is like a little pun on books. And then my website is geetwrites.carrd.co. And since I'm very big on mental health, I also have a mental health website, which is sincerelygate.mh.card.co. And if you guys are into K-pop, this is completely off topic, but if you're into K-pop, my YouTube channel is Sincerely and then Geet.
That's great. Yeah. Well, this brings us to the end of the show, and I want to thank my audience for listening. If you enjoyed the episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post it about on social media, and leave a rating. And don't forget to click the button on the top where you'll always be notified when a new episode comes out. And listen, to catch new latest and all about me, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at EJW Coaching. That's it. So we want to thank you again, audience. We want to thank you again, Jyoti, for being with us, sharing your authorship along the way of your journey of writing everything that you know to be right, and especially on purpose. So thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.